Hi guys, it's Becky, and today I'm going to do the project that I had planned to do with the honey handy pieces that I had ordered from Beebeecraft. So I mentioned in there that I had ordered some of these with a specific project in mind, and I had ordered this set of 5 enamel shell charms and a 10-pack of these bale beads. And I'm just going to be using the 5 gold colored ones for this project because they'll go with these shell charms. I had also ordered the Panda Hall pearl set, and during my unboxing I used some of those pearls to do like a knotted bracelet, but I set aside these pearls to use in a project with these charms. So I'm going to be using those for this project. I also am going to be adding from my own stash these gold colored spacers. They're about 6mm. The beads are about 6mm, and these veil beads are about 6mm. So that should be fine there with that. For attaching the charms to the veil beads, I'm using some little 5mm jump rings that I've got. And then I've also got a closed jump ring and a lobster clasp for closure on this. I'm going to be stringing it on this bone color medium soft flex wire. It works best with these 2mm crimp tubes. And these 2mm crimp tubes are fantastic with the magical crimpers. I will be using some flush cutters for cutting my wire, and I'll be using some chain nose pliers for opening and closing my jump rings. But that is about it for my tools and materials for this. It should be a fairly quick project. And what I'm going to do right now is just attach each of these charms to one of these bale beads. And I'm doing that with my jump rings. I just want to be able to have them hanging from my necklace when I go to string it, because I'm just going to string the bale bead on between some of the pearls, and then these enamel shell charms will dangle down from them. Now I'm taking my inspiration for this, the shell necklace that Barbie wears in the Barbie movie. And it's just inspiration for it. It's not going to be an exact replica because these charms are not that big, but also I wanted something that's a little more wearable instead of, like the oversized things, because most of the things that they did for jewelry, like they upsized it so that it would be about the same proportion with the actress that like actual Barbie jewelry is for the Barbie dolls. Like they also changed the proportion sizes for like the car and the house, so that it would be like the same proportion for the actual people and who are doing that as it was for the doll to the house. It's kind of cool that they paid so much attention to detail on that. But yeah, so we're just gonna have a little Barbie-inspired shell necklace made with some pearls, some bale beads, and some shell charms. And these bale beads are great. I got some silver ones left that I haven't used yet, but I think these would be great to use in stretch cord bracelets, because then you can attach a charm to it, and you could have it be where you put, because they've got kind of a larger hole, where you have your what is it called, your knot hidden in there when you do that. All right, so the plan is that we're going to have all 5 of these spread out like this, and I would like to have 3 pearls between each of them. And then I think 3 pearls would be good spacing. And then we'll have the spacers, every 3 pearls too, up around the back of the necklace. Why don't I start from the middle and go out from there? Since I know what the middle should start with, and that way I'll know whether I'm going to be using all of these or just some of them if I get started that way. Yeah, so it's basically going to be stringing for the rest of this. Let me see. Gonna want enough wire to be able to do crimping with, but also I don't want this to be like a really, really long necklace. So about 16, 17 inches, that'll be fine. All right, so I just cut off some of this wire, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of my bead stoppers. I'm just going to plop this on the end of this to keep beads from coming off of it while I'm stringing on over here. So I'm just going to start right here. I'm not going to go with all of these ones from the back because I want to just start with the middle, right? Where we have our 3 pearls and then a bail bead. I'm going to want to make sure the direction that I'm stringing it is going to keep the charms hanging consistently, like that. So this should be a really quick project. All we're doing is we're just going to be stringing stuff on here and then doing some crimping. It's pretty easy to plan out or lay out, but this is what I had in mind when I ordered these. There we go. I love it already. This also isn't pink. These are more of an off-white or a shell color, which again should make it a little more wearable. There we go. All right. Now, almost got these guys up along this side with this next one. So I'm going to do 3 more sections of 3 on this side and then 3 sections of 3 on the other side and see how long it is and see if I need to add any more. So with each of these sections of 3 pearls, I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, and I haven't noticed any paint chipping off of these. I went ahead and wore that bracelet that I made the other day, like while I was going about my day, washing dishes, doing things like that, and it made it through just fine. So I'm pretty okay with saying these are decent quality glass pearls. I would be happy to put my name on the line for that. All right. There we go. Let's see, we've got the spacers in between on that side. 2, 3. All right, so I've got my 3 sections, 3 on this side, and I want to add 3 on the other side, so I'm going to switch my bead stopper over to that. I could pull out another bead stopper, but I don't really need to if I've just got the one, because I'm only working on one side of this at a time, aren't I? So we've got 1, and this is going to be 2 and 3. Two, 3. All right. I'm going to see how long that is. Okay, so I think probably about 3 more sections of 3 on each side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I may end up using all of this color of these beads for this. So let's do a few more on this side before I switch back over to the other. I was just checking length against my own neck. Three of them. Spacer. And these spacers are ones that I got from Amazon. I can go back through my purchase history and give you a link to them, but they're just decent little spacers. They think they came in like different colors, but they work pretty well for that. So let me add some more over here on this side before I do this final 3 on this side. Scooching this along. There we go. Alright. So I've been planning out some more projects, but they're gonna take a little more time than this. I thought this would be a nice quick project that I could get finished after work, and you guys could watch and hang out with me and maybe make one of these yourself if you've got some of these charms or similar charms. Like if you wanted to make a Halloween necklace with some bale beads and some Halloween charms, you could do something similar-ish. Oh boy. All right. I think I am going to end up using like all of these beads basically. 1, 2, 3. How about one more? Just to lengthen everything out. And yeah, like it would work as a bail bead like that for a stretch bracelet. 1, 2, 3. Well, it's a little bit short, but you know what I can do? I can add some chain to the end of it. I can find some. Yeah, if I add some chain to the back of it so that it connects, and then you can adjust the length too. Maybe I can use some of this hard curb chain like that to the end of it. Let's get this connected over here. I'm going to put on one spacer just there at the very end, at the back. And get our 2x2 crimp tube. I'm going to magic crimp this. After I get it attached to this lobster clasp on that end. Alright, so for this end, may go ahead and have this go through a couple of beads too. Oh, it's too many. Alright, so I've got the crimp tube here on the end. And this is over here. I can scooch these beads along if I need to when I get to the end of it. So I'm going to grab my magical crimper. And I'm going to place the crimp tube in this little concavity there. And give it a smoosh. And now I've got some rough edges. So by twisting it, you know, I open and close it and then twist it. This will smoosh down those rough edges and leave me with a little ball. Alright, so I'm just going to put, I think, 2 of these on that end, maybe 3, maybe 4, actually. You know what, that spacer is just kind of floating there, being all spacery. You know what, it's fine. It can stay there. It's going to do whatever it's going to do over there on that end. Alright. Because it's got a really large hole. Alright, so this is the spot where I'm going to go ahead and clip that. And scooch the rest of these beads down along there for that. Now I'm going to probably just attach this to this chain on the other side. Not really worry so much about attaching it to jump rings or anything like that. And I'm going to go ahead and, for symmetry's sake, stick this on here. So I had a question on one of my videos, how you make sure not to squish the bead on the other end when you're using the magical crimpers. And you have to make sure that you've got some space between that last bead and your crimp. But also, if it's too tight, then you won't have very much movement with your necklace. So you want to make sure that there is a little bit of give, there is a little bit of space between your crimp and that last bead so that it can move and you have movement and it'll be able to drape well and not just be a really, really stiff necklace. I mean, being able to have a little bit of movement between the beads is going to be crucial for them to not break the crimp and not break the bead when you do that. So I'm going to put on my crimp bead, and because this hole is a little bit big, I'm just going to hang on to it right here with my finger to keep it from like getting swallowed up in here. I'm going to go through here. Because yeah, you don't want it to be so tight on the other end that you break a bead, or that you don't have any movement, or the whole necklace or bracelet or whatever you're working with is super tight. Okay. So my crimp bead is getting swallowed up in that. I'd like to move my crimp bead closer to the end there. Oop. So you want to make sure that you leave yourself some space, that you have this wiggle room so that you can A, fit your crimper in there without breaking any of your beads, and B, so that you have more movement with your necklace and it's not just really, really stiff, and it doesn't put stress or strain on the crimp afterwards. So you see how there's still a little bit of space between the crimp and that bead? You want that. You kind of need to have that. All right, so this is going to be adjustable. Let me cut this guy off. There we go. So we've got some movement. See, it drapes. It's nice. Let me figure out where I need to cut this chain. Over here on the back side. Just a sec. All right, so it is about right here that we're going to cut this, and I'm just going to cut this smaller link here between these two carefully. And then Ellen needs my attention. She's very mad. I stopped petting her. This one is just kind of stuck to this one, but I will worry about that another day. Because right now, I finished my quick and easy Barbie-inspired pearl necklace. And I will put a link to all of the things that I used for this in the description. Bye!